very grateful. I feel very blessed. I haven't had to perhaps undergo a lot of suffering that I've seen my friends have to suffer, or I've seen other tribes or other cultures have had to suffer. I've kind of like grown up in a very sheltered environment. Um, so I've had more blessings to to be grateful for. I met my husband 10 years ago. Yeah, it was 10 years ago I met my husband. Um, but my journey began with Mama Aya, with ayahuasca. It was a trip. I was in a relationship with an English guy, and we were very independent of each other. So we kind of like did our own thing, and it didn't start off that way, but we ended up, we were we together for 10 years, and we were very independent people. And I decided to go to Peru one time, um, and the guy that actually organized the group, he's passed away now. He passed away last year, bless him. So yeah, so it was like a 2 week thing in Peru. It was my first time. I didn't know anything about ayahuasca. I read up about it, and so apart from just reading other people's experience, I had no idea at all. I went there just for the experience. I wanted to experience the Peruvian jungle. It was done in the jungle with the Shipibo people, and I wanted to experience the life of being with the Shipibo people, and doing the ceremonies were just part and parcel of that experience. It wasn't my focal point, whereas it was for a lot of other people. It wasn't for me. I just wanted to experience the whole thing. When I was doing ayahuasca, we had the ayahuasca ceremonies. I think we worked with about 5 or 6 different herbs. Um, we worked with the dream herb with Toye. We worked with ayahuasca, chacruna, and I had several visions, which had all come to pass. Looking back now, because it's been like just about 11 years now. Anyway, before that, one of the things, when working with the shamans, they would say, what do you want? What healing do you want? It's just like a typical thing. You go for a ceremony, and what would you want? What aspects of your life did you want to be healed? And I had been undergoing fertility treatment in UK for 12 years with 2 different partners. And so I was at a point in my life whereby I just felt, okay, if motherhood was not for me, then I'll just accept it. I'll just get on with my life and walk my path and just make the most of my life as I can. I kind of like accepted I couldn't be pregnant. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? I'm in Peru. I'm working with the Shipibo people. I'm working with Mama Aya. I'll just say to the shaman, I can't conceive. He goes, don't worry, I'll help you. So this was just part of the ceremony, and it wasn't as if like he took me aside and performed it. He just like, it was just part of the ceremony. It was just one thing that it was of his intention to help me with. Well, I didn't think anything about it, but coming back from Peru, it was the first events of changes. Mama Aya was the catalyst that kind of like propelled me towards my new destiny, so to speak. And then I think 6 months after that, or maybe even less, I actually I had plucked up the courage to actually leave my existing situation at that time, which was my present situation, which involved walking out of the house that I shared with my partner, changing my life completely. And there was nothing wrong. I mean, my partner, I had a loving relationship. We're very independent people. There's nothing wrong with him, but I needed to make that change. I needed to live my own life, and Mama Aya gave me the courage to do that, instead of just being complacent and comfortable in a relationship that it was, I don't want to say like accepting second best, because he's a lovely man and he's perfect for someone else, but it wasn't my life, And it was, how it was shown to me was when I embraced this change, which was my journey towards my personal freedom, I let him free too. I had a pen pal at that time, an Irish pen pal, and I said to her, look, I have these tickets to go out to America, and I've never really wanted to go to America. So she goes, you know, why don't you go to Sedona? She said, my teacher's teacher lives in Sedona. It's supposed to be really, so this was like 2008, 2009, after the Peru trip. She's supposed to be really spiritual. I'd never heard of Sedona then, you know. So I said, oh, okay, I'll check. I said, I don't want to do the Hollywood thing. I don't want to go to New York. You know, I don't want to do the American thing. You know, I just want to go somewhere different. She goes, try to. So I read it up, still didn't know anything about it. It wasn't like, you know, Sedona is not really known in America as a spiritual place. I mean, in UK, it's a spiritual place. So yeah, why not? I've got these tickets. I got here. I did all the hikes. I did all the tourist things. I came here to, you know, to connect with the land. I realized when I got here, I wanted to connect with the land. I didn't do like the tourist thing, you know, I just like connect. So I did hikes every day of the 10 days I was here. And I felt the ancestors of me, and I said to them, I really would like to come back. And they said to me, you're not ready. When the time comes, you will come back. But right now, you're not ready. So I went back to UK. And of course, they kind of like fulfilled the prophecy for me, because I met my husband. After my Sedona trip, I think 3 months later, I met my husband. It was January 2010. And 2 weeks after we got married, I fell pregnant. 2 weeks after having fertility treatment for 12 years. I was 44. So, and I wanted to be, you know, the midwives looked after me. I didn't have insurance then, you know. And I thought, oh my God, you know, am I going to have a baby on the streets, because no hospital would touch me. And it turned out there was this beautiful family clinic that looked after expecting mums and those, you know, basically after women. It's called Womankind in Cleveland. They took me in. They said, don't worry, we'll look after you. And it was just like this. It was miracle after miracle. He's an absolute joy. I've given birth to a truth sayer, which I think as a mom, it probably is one of the most, I think, not even just as a mom, just for a human being, you know, because he says the truth as it is, with no filters. And he's, you know, he says it, I don't know, he's a truth sayer. That's all I can say. And when he says the truth, he says the truth to enact the most powerful change in someone's life. I know he does that to me. It's difficult to say he says it lovingly, because he says the truth as it is. So there is no bad or good attached to it. You know, he says the truth to help people find that door to have the speediest, the greatest amount of change in your life. He just tells you so that you know this is the road you have to go, because this will be your greatest change for your greatest good. You know, so he's like, just say, this is the way, and that's it, you know, and no mincing with words, you know. He's amazing. We call him Zen. He's Zen Satori. He's traveled around the world 4 times. He's been to Peru. He's been up to Machu Picchu as a baby. The villagers would literally take him out of my husband's hand, because they just fell in love with this adorable bundle. And this was his initiation into different cultures of the world. The villagers would just take him out from my husband's hand and pass him around. This is, you know, and this is 2 different continents. his initiation into the culture of people. They did this in Malaysia as well. The women would just take him and handle him round the village. It was just like you're saying, meet this soul. So I mean, I'm thankful to the universe for giving me this opportunity to be a mother. At the same time, it forces me to be. The lessons are not easy when you bringing forth a truth say into the world, because I have to. I'm his first experiment. So yeah, he's very special, and I pray every day ever since his birth that I can keep up to this task of being his mother. I mean, obviously universe must have felt I can do this, and I feel very blessed. But yeah, sometimes I feel I've done, I feel like a failure. I'm not a good mom, but I think every mom feels that. He gives me the motivation is just a pale word to describe, but he gives me the desire to be the better version of myself every time.